Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Trina here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 11 of What If Deku Was Given the Six Paths Power. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So we begin. The following day, Uraraka returned to UA, and everyone in Class 1A was informed of what had transpired the day before. Most were concerned and even went over to check up on her, but others decided to keep their distance. All in all, it went smoother than the girl had initially thought. Bad news did surface right after, though, as the destination for the school trip had to be changed due to the incident involving the students. The villains clearly had someone giving them information, which meant that the safety of everyone here was at stake. Most of the students whined because of this, but regardless of their feelings, the decision had already been made, and just like that, the actual class started. After the school day concluded, Aizawa took Uraraka to his office, and there, they began to talk about what he had agreed upon last night. From now on, I'll be keeping an eye on you, kiddo. No matter what happens, I will be near you at all times, and when I'm not, I will be a call away. This is what your parents and I agreed on while you talked to Deku upstairs. I already gave you my number, so it better be saved on that phone of yours. So any questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. What reason did you have for making my parents change their minds? They were set on taking me back with them no matter what I said. And you just came and miraculously changed their minds. I've only been your student for a single term, so why did you feel the need to stand up for me?
Uraraka asked as she unconsciously tried to reach the floor with her feet while sitting on Aizawa's couch. That's simple. Every single one of you 1A students are my kids. As your homeroom teacher, I assume the responsibility of taking care of all of you, no matter the reason. I have already lost 2 students in my class, and I don't plan on losing anyone else. I apologize for not being there when the villain did this to you. It was an unexpected encounter, and it landed on a free day for you guys, so I didn't bother to keep an eye on the group. From now on, I'll try to do a better job. I don't want any of you to suffer any more than you already have. Aizawa responded with a straight face that slowly transformed into a warmer one.
Hearing that makes me feel better, Sensei. If anything, it helps me see that you aren't so cold after all. You're like a secret parent to Class 1A. And maybe I should convince the others to start calling you Papa Aizawa. Yeah, Papa Aizawa sounds perfect!
The girl cheered with her fist up high. At that instant, Eraserhead's eyes went red and the scarf around his neck began to float ominously. Indeed, he was now pissed off. You better keep your mouth shut, or I'll send you straight to your parents. You got that? Aizawa said in a tone that could have shattered anything in its path.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just joking back there. But I seriously appreciate everything you did to help me continue my dream. Without you, I would now be in my old room crying for it all to go back to what it once was.
Aizawa took the moment to put his palm on top of the girl's head, and then he caressed it, trying to make her feel better. No need. That's what a hero does. But now that you're in a better mood, would you like me to go get you something to eat? Aizawa asked as he removed his hand from her and stood up. Her eyes lit up and she jumped off the couch in pure joy.
Yes, please! I'm starving!
She responded without containing herself one bit. That's how the student-mentor relationship between Uraraka and Aizawa began. Eraserhead would look out for her and ensure she was always taken care of and out of danger. He bought her food from time to time. On one occasion, when he came to visit, he became aware that the girl was on a tight budget, so he felt like she could use a little help. In rare instances, he even cooked for her, and she enjoyed it as if a talented chef made it. The poor girl must have known the feeling of never having enough food to satisfy her needs, and even less of a chance of getting tasty alternatives. So this type of situation was one that she would forever cherish. But that wasn't all. Aizawa had begun teaching her the basics of the binding cloth style, in the hopes that this could aid her alongside what she had learned during her stay at Gunhead's agency. With enough time during the summer break, Aizawa began to open up to Uraraka. Eventually, he told her about his young days as a student, and, in turn, he also talked about his friend Shirakumo. The girl never interrupted him when he decided to speak about his past, and he appreciated the gesture. In a way, it was a motion to show respect. All this time with someone looking after her and all the lessons given allowed Uraraka to mature beyond what she originally believed was possible. She had even come to terms with her state, and she accepted that it was best to keep looking forward instead of looking back. But all those events weren't all that occurred throughout the weeks that encompassed the summer break. In fact, it was only a small part of it all. At the start of the summer break, the students from Class 1A took a trip to Ai Island, where they attended the famous Ai Expo. During their stay, Deku and Uraraka met a genius blonde girl that called All Might her uncle. This girl was called Melissa Shield, and even though quirkless, her intellect was second to none. With her trip, Uraraka obtained a programmable matter base that she could shape into whatever she needed, a thing that she immediately took hold of as she made the infamous sledgehammer into reality. As for Deku, being All Might's apprentice meant that sooner or later he would inherit One for All, and according to him, there was a chance for Deku's body to not be able to handle all its power. So by telling this to Melissa, he was then gifted 2 red prototype gauntlets called the Full Gauntlets that could hold out a few 100% One-for-All smashes. Izuku and Uraraka thanked her for the gifts, and then they went ahead to enjoy the rest of the expo. Meanwhile, as they were having fun, Aizawa and All Might worked together to defeat a villain called Wolfram, who had nefarious plans connected with Melissa's father, David Shield. Shortly after the expo ended, the students left the island and returned to Japan. The night before the school trip, Izuku Midoriya had a dream. In it, he once more found himself in front of the sage of the 6 paths, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. "It's been a while, Hagoromo. It's about time we talked about the powers you gave me." This video is sponsored by Adobe. Adobe is redefining the digital experience through game-changing innovations that shape the next generation of storytelling. Adobe makes it easy to create, edit, and share digital documents securely, allowing you to collaborate and communicate across devices. Adobe Photoshop is your go-to application for raster graphics editing and digital art as a whole. At We the Celestials, all our thumbnails across every channel are created with Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Premiere Pro is a timeline-based and non-linear video editing software application that is versatile and easy for beginning and master editors. Finally, Adobe After Effects is the industry-standard tool for digital visual effects, motion graphics, and compositing applications used in post-production. Many of our voice actors, audio editors, and video editors use Premiere Pro and After Effects to produce these high-quality videos. Click the link in the description to start creating now, and thank you to Adobe for sponsoring this video.
Indeed, we must converse about how much untapped potential you are leaving on the side.
Hagoromo responded, simply looking at the boy standing beneath him. "Untapped potential? So there's more that I can do?" Izuku questioned as he sat down.
That is the case. Until now, you've only used your chakra cloak and the truth-seeking orbs. Those aren't the only abilities you possess. You also have the capability to use all 5 basic chakra natures: fire, wind, earth, water, and lightning. That's not all, though, as you have 2 other chakra transformations called yin release and yang release that are outside the basic 5. And with the combination of these 2, you can also form what I call yin-yang release. Now you must know that you have unconsciously used yin-yang release prior, such as when you healed your mentor All Might with his injury, as well as any other time you use your truth-seeking orbs, as they are made out of that extraordinary element. Now you may ask away anything that comes to mind, young one.
Hagoromo explained, and as he concluded, Izuku was ready to ask away. "Would you teach me how to wield those elements? I'm sure that if I could see them in action, then I could replicate them. They could help me become an even greater hero that can save everyone!" Midoriya exclaimed. He was ready to do whatever it took to improve his power.
You only had to ask, but first, I'll have to explain to you the basics of how all these nature transformations operate. Being someone with no experience wielding chakra, I feel urged to elaborate on the topic.
"Please do!" And so the sage of the 6 paths, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, taught Deku the basics of how to perform jutsus of the 5 basic natures with the help of a screen that displayed many talented ninjas from across the ages. In these, Deku saw legendary shinobi such as the leader of the Uchiha and its haunting ghosts, Madara Uchiha, the 2nd Hokage, Tobirama Senju, the 6th Hokage, Kakashi Hatake, the 3rd Tsuchikage, Onoki, the Shadow Hokage, Sasuke Uchiha, and the 7th Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki. The wide variety of memories shared with the young boy helped him get a grasp on all that he needed to know for now, and then Hagoromo instructed him in both the yin release and yang release himself. With this, Izuku came to understand that yin release used spiritual energy to control imagination, creating form out of nothingness. In contrast, yang release used physical energy to control vitality, granting life to forms that had none. With this knowledge now in his mind, he was able to understand that the combination of both of these would grant him the capability to use what Hagoromo Otsutsuki called the creation of all things jutsu, a jutsu that could allow him to turn fantasy into reality. But as he was going to further ask about it, his all-night alarm clock woke him up. A new day was about to begin. At around the same time, very far away from the boy's apartment, All Might had met up with his former sidekick, Sir Night-Eye, at his agency to talk about the future inheritor of One for All, Izuku Midoriya. Even though still a bit hesitant, Night-Eye had accepted All Might's decision, and thanks to this, they were able to have a conversation about it. All Might was aware that since today would be the day that he passed on One for All to his student, his hero days would soon come to an end, and because of this, he asked Sir Night-Eye for a favor.
If the worst comes to be, then please train him, Night-Eye. That's my last request to you. The boy will need someone to guide him, and I trust that you could do so splendidly.
All Might bowed his head as he gave his final request to the person that had once been his sidekick.
I'll honor your request. It's the least that I can do for my friend,
Sir Night-Eye replied with a smile. What All Might had not accounted for was that young Midoriya had left early for the summer lodge alongside his class. It was a disclosed location, not to mention that the bus also disrupted any electrical device within it, so he wouldn't be able to get in contact with the young boy even if he wanted to. He just looked at the sky and began to laugh.
You'll receive it later then, my boy. I hope that you and your friends have a great experience on your trip,
he said with a smile that slowly vanished as he began to go into deep thought.
Nana, for some reason, I feel like we'll be meeting soon. But if I'm honest, I want to stay a bit longer to see him succeed. I wonder if that's too much to ask.
Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to thank our patrons, BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Melees, Adam Zadgel, XAV Beto 3, Zill, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I also like to thank all of our YouTube members, Toya Costa, Rob the King, Sith Lord 906, CF2364, and Knuckles, Remiu Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Greer, and Refik 135. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation and join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. And if you want more content from me, check out my channel or social media at Trina Duhart on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and more. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and have a great day!